No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America.
But if you, because I think people, let me go back to Ron. You and I grew up, we made our own decisions. I don't have the same politics as my parents, you don't. I think you got to put your own stew together. You got to watch a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You got to read a certain magazine here. How do you do it? I mean, most people put things together intelligently. They don't ask some daddy to come along or mommy to come along and tell them what to think. You don't.
Media, and you look for things that make sense to you. If you may not be an expert in various policy areas, but you have common sense, and you ask yourself, does this pass the smell test?
But unfortunately, Josh, back to that question, I think some people want to be intellectually led. They walk around and say, I am a ditto head after listening to Limbaugh. Why would anybody want to be a ditto anything? A ditto husband, a ditto wife, a ditto anything. You want to be somewhat original, don't you? Something that's sort of self-determined, not something that's a derivative of what Rush Limbaugh was thinking or saying, let's put it.
And I think on the right, there is a kind of an authoritarian mentality, which I think does prefer in some ways liking to be led and kind of get the sort of the authoritative line. But again, I think there's...
They like goose-stepping? What do you mean authoritarian? That's pretty scary. You mean they actually do like being given orders?
Yeah, I think that I think even look, I think that it is widely recognized that maybe not this cycle, but in the past, the Republican Party much more often nominates the front runner than the Democratic Party does.
Yeah.
That has to do with that's a kind of a follow the leader mentality.
We have someone here who would like to address the Assembly. That person is Congressman John Lewis. How do we feel? With hand signs, please. Let me take a moment to explain why we use hand signs. Clapping can prevent someone else who is addressing the Assembly from being heard. We want everyone's voice to be heard. To signal approval, wave your hands or your fingers, or do a thumbs up. That way, we can hear each other. Thank you. How do we feel about Congressman John Lewis addressing the Assembly at this time? Are there any blocks? There's a block here.
I check. I first would like to acknowledge the invaluable work that Congressman John Lewis has dedicated his life to. Yes, fought for the freedom and the dignity and respect of countless lives. However,
feel about what the bloc has said? How do we feel about that? It seems like we're pretty close to consensus with agreeing with the bloc.
No. No. Let him speak. Let him speak.
Would anyone like to address the bloc?
Some odoriferous combinations going on with that.
They're not going to let him speak. I cannot believe this. The look on John Lewis's face is just unbelievable.
In the government we want to change. People like John Lewis. Have just as much right. To be part of the change. As to be part of the problem. Having him here is an honor. And I hope we can hear what he has to say.
I would like to take a straw poll. How many people would like to hear John Lewis speak right now? Raise your hand. How many people agree with the proposal that was just made? Thank you. The proposal was
4 hours talking about whether or not
that Congressman Lewis address the Assembly at the time when people address the Assembly after we finish our agenda. How many people agree with the proposal? You see that the group is very divided about this issue. It seems unlikely that we're going to come to consensus quickly. Therefore, I propose that we continue with the agenda.
Please.
Mic check.
It's their effort, and
But unfortunately, Josh, back to that question, I think some people want to be intellectually led. But unfortunately, Josh, back to that question, I think some people want to be intellectually led.
No, no, no. Not God bless America. God damn America. That's in the Bible for killing innocent people. God damn America.